I'm gonna go over like the Division One men's tennis NCAA tournament bracket now. I apologize for looking out because I cannot memorize all that stuff. And I'm gonna make mention some like the how to determine like the host sites. Obviously, is like top number of top 50 wins, head to head, straight to schedule, and common opponents. That's why some teams like jumped one another, or if you're in or you're out situation. Obviously, top 16 seeds host the first two rounds. Top 8, you get to host potentially the first 3 rounds if you even get to the Sweet 16. And I'm going to say all the days for all this stuff, like first and second rounds, is like May 2nd or May 3rd, while the second round would be either May 3rd or May 4th, depending on do you play on May 2nd? If so, you play the next day. If it's May 3rd, you play on May 4th. So there's that. Now, Sweet 16 is just one match that week, and that's on May 9th or May 10th. Now, the Elite 8 onwards is in Waco, Texas, where it'll be played at the Her Tennis Center, and maybe the Hawkins Indoor, depending on weather, but let's hope for not on that situation. And it's like May 16th for the Elite 8 matches, semifinals, May 17th, and May 18th is the championship. And all this. So you got to keep that in mind here. And I will recap the first and second rounds a week from now. I will do that, by the way. But not like who won doubles point and all that. Same thing goes for the Sweet 16 matches. And Elite, like obviously Elite 8 on I'll do as well. But in particular, those Final Four and National Championship match, I'll go over who won the doubles point in all the singles matches that went in order. And obviously, I would do like how many seniors definitely gone after that year too. So for those Elite 8 teams onward, just to make things easier. So who's the 1 seed? It's Wake Forest. They're going to take on Gardner Webb. Now Kentucky will play Old Dominion at Wake Forest. Now the 16 seed Texas A&M will take on Rice, while Baylor takes on Nebraska in College Station. That is a rematch from earlier this year. But that was at Nebraska and indoors, and I do not know the health stats for all of these teams here. So we got to keep that in mind. Now, the 8 seed Columbia will take on Binghamton, Binghamton. Apologize if I butchered that. While Clemson is going to take on Quinnipiac. Now, the 9 seed NC State will take on South Carolina State, while Georgia is going to take on UNC Wilmington. And Georgia and NC State could be a dangerous match, and obviously same goes for Baylor and Texas A&M. Just saying. Now, the 5 seed Ohio State will take on Buffalo, which Ohio State doesn't lose at Ohio State that often, but it did happen for the first time in 22 years against a Big Ten opponent. So Auburn is going to take on Belmont, and like in Columbus. Now the 12 seed Mississippi State will take on New Orleans, while Michigan State will take on North Alabama. Michigan State's one of those teams that you don't want to face in a round of 32 if you're Mississippi State here. It's not. Now, the 13th seed South Carolina will take on VCU, as in Virginia Commonwealth University, in the first round, while Florida State will play Samford on South Carolina. And really, Florida State's another dangerous team for South. That's not a host bid right here. So the 4 seed Stanford will take on New Mexico. Now, on the campus of Stanford, Pepperdine will take on Alabama. So it's a little bit interesting there. Now I'm going to go over the other side of the bracket here. And I'll start with the 3 seed Texas. They'll take on Montana. Now, Michigan's going to take on Cornell. Michigan's one of those dangerous teams, but if they're healthy. I mean, that's the thing. And Cornell is a somewhat dangerous team themselves, too. Now, the 14th seed Tennessee will take on Alabama State, while Duke will take on Middle Tennessee State. And if Duke does advance to the round of 32, Tennessee better be on upset alert. Duke could have been easily hosting, but because UCLA beat Ohio State, what I said earlier went against Duke. So I'm just saying, beware. Now the 11th seed California will take on Boise State, while UCLA is going to take on UC Santa Barbara as in UCSB. And I will say this: California got a wrong end of the stick here. UCLA just won Big Ten tournament and they're not hosting the first 2 rounds. It's because, like I said, all that didn't go to their favor. That's why they're not hosting. So that's that. Now the 6th seed San Diego will take on UC Irvine. Arizona State will take on USC as the University of Southern California. Now Virginia, the 7th seed, will take on Bucknell, while St. John's and Princeton will play on the campus of Virginia. And so now I will say the 10th seed Arizona will take on Denver. Washington will take on Harvard. Harvard's a dangerous team potentially. Dangerous if Arizona gets to the. They should get to the round of 32. It's more like if they get there, that's a dangerous match. And I will say this: I know it's way too far in advance here, but if Virginia does go to the Sweet 16, you do not want to face Arizona because they got a really good top 2. But I know Virginia can't claim the same, but still, very tough matchup right there, potentially down the line. We'll see what happens though. Now this is where it gets interesting. The 15th seed UCF will take on Miami, Florida. And that's a Miami, Florida team that actually beat UCF earlier this year. Uh-oh. Is there an upset going to happen again? But it's on the campus of UCF. Now Florida will take on USF. And USF also beat UCF. Wow. Either way, that's a dangerous match for a UCF right there. And same thing goes for Florida as well. So that's one of those out regions. Now, the 2 seed TCU will take on ACU as an Abilene Christian University. Then the following matches against either Oklahoma is going to take on Illinois. I do think TCU, when not healthy, could be pushed. We'll see about Cooper Woostendyk. He didn't even play the Big 12 tournament due to sickness. And Pedro Vivas has been out forever. So, even if they do survive this match and they play UCF already beat them. And even if they don't play them, it's still a dangerous match. Whoever comes out of the UCF region for TCU, potentially. If they're not healthy. That's the key thing. So, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button, and see you guys later on the road. 800 subscribers, of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 or more. So, my month, this course, like video, comment video, really helps YouTube algorithms so more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well.